First John chapter 2 verse 15. Do not love this world nor the things it offers you, for when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there, blessing his truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the brother Hadabia from the GMS Toronto camp coming back at you with another one. We are not to love this world. We are not to get too attached to the things of this world. Because this world is being run under a wicked vibration. And a very demonic one. And if you like it says, if you love this world, then you don't love Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you like the way things are being done right now, if you feel comfortable or satisfied with the way life is, then you don't love Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And you see that a lot with these other Israelite camps out here, these other Israelite groups like the IUIC. They love this world, and you know how they love this world? Because they're over here, they're trying to set up communities in Babylon the Great. They're they love their status here. They're not calling on the correct names. You have other men talking about another 1,000 years. And you know why they talk about that? You know why they say that? Because they like being here. They have obtained a status or a position in this world, and they're satisfied. They got a lot of money coming in. They're getting all the physical pleasures of this world. They like it. Whereas us of the hopeful elect, we're hasting and praying on the day where we see this wicked kingdom go down. So Yahweh Shai can set up his righteous kingdom here on earth. Because right now, like I said, this world is being ran in wickedness. So do not love this world or the things it offers you, for when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving of physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. So that's what this world offers. It's only a temporary pleasure, temporary satisfaction, because these things are all gonna pass away. These jobs, these high status, whatever position that Jake be in, just the way things are being run right now. This is not how it's gonna be in the kingdom. This is not how it's gonna be when Yahweh Shai is ruling. And he's being known throughout the earth. So let me read that again. For the world offers only a craving of physical pleasure, and you see the things that we crave. We crave these heavenly. We crave heavenly things. Yes, it's not a sin to have nice things, or a good job, or a nice home, or whatever the case may be. There's no sin against that, but that's not our focus. Because we understand that all these things, even if you're blessed enough to obtain all those things, it can be taken away from you. The Lord could take it away from you, and ultimately, when Esau comes with that MOTB, everyone's going to be tested. You know, and a lot of people, a lot of Jake, are going to fall into that trap of not wanting to lose these physical things and these things that they crave for. You know, because then they're going to feel uncomfortable. You know, they're not going to want to lose their home or their job. And the C19 was a prime example of that. A lot of people went and took that juice because they didn't want to lose those physical pleasures. They did not want to, they wanted to still be able to travel. They wanted to still be able to go into certain establishments, sporting events and whatnot. So they went and took that juice. Whereas, us, the hopeful elect, even that whole fiasco, that was also a test for us, because we chose to just trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yes, we knew we could get sick, but it wasn't something we were afraid of. You know, at the end of the day, I know a lot of me. I caught that shit, and it wasn't fun. But you know, that's where that faith comes in, and that patience, and trusting and believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And he made a way. He made a way, and we're still here today. And we gotta believe that going into Jacob's trouble as well, that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is gonna provide a way. And things are gonna be 10 times, worse in this time, than previous times. But as long as we're believing and trusting in our power, we're good. Verse 17, and this world, let me read that again. For the world offers only a craving of physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride is our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does what pleases Yahweh will live forever. And that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that the works that we're doing, that are pleasing unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because at the end of the day, we want to make it. And the Lord is putting us through many tests and trials, so that we, detach from this world, so that we hate it even more. I hate this place every more, every day. That we're on this, under captivity, under these curses, seeing all this wickedness. It just makes you hate this place even more and more and more and more. And just makes you just desire the kingdom. And that's good. This is Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. So you can't conform to this world. You can't be following and practicing these heathen customs, um, acting like a 2/3 Jake out here. You got this change. The obedience. It starts from within the mind, within the spirit. And then you go out there and you practice it. You do it. Because if you love this world, you don't love the Father. It says Matthew 16:25, for whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give exchange for his soul? You see a lot of that. You see a lot of people do that. They sell out. You know, especially with a lot of these celebrities. They give into this wickedness. They do things and they practice things that they know is not right. But they crave those physical pleasures. They crave the status, or or more money, or whatever it is. But but us, we understand that we're willing to, you know, lose, lose it all on this side in order to 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 obtain that everlasting life. Those crowns. You know, once you put off, that old man, and put on that new one. That brings life. You know, and then, that's how you find yourself. You find yourself is by putting off that old person. You know, and look at things. Through spiritual eyes. Trying to be more righteous. Not overly righteous, because we're gonna make mistakes, but to do what we can. Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sword. Destruction. This place is polluted. And if you don't detach from it, you'll get brought down. It'll suck you in. You'll be so wrapped up in this world, and lose sight of what's really important. And what's really important, especially as being an Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, one of the 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. What's right, what's pleasing to the Lord is serving Him and following after Him. Because the Lord is coming with a serious judgment. And He's coming with a serious judgment to those who don't follow Him, or who have chose, but then have turned their back on the Lord. And a lot of Jacob is going to do that, especially in the time of Jacob's trouble, that hour of temptation. So arise ye depart, for this is not your rest. This is not our rest. This kingdom is not our rest. This waking up 9 to 5, paying all these bills, eating all this defiled food, the fabrics, the air, this ain't life. We ain't living. We ain't living yet. We haven't got to experience what it's like to truly live and be free. Where we can finally be at rest and be at one with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And Lord willing, I make it to the end, to finally feel that sense of rest and peace. Is going to be a great feeling. It's going to be so fulfilling, to know that, I was able to make it through everything, make it through the fire. Because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction. Because this world is being, the way this world is being run, it is very polluted. Esau's done polluted everything. Everything this man has touched, he has polluted. Everywhere this man goes, he destroys and brings destruction. And that's why we got to get up out of here. Turn on the TV. You get vexed. You walk the roads. You walk on the street, you get vexed. You go to work, you get vexed. You know? Just everything just vexes the spirit because everything is just off. Everything just has a terrible, just just demons on people. You know? And that's why, not to get too attached, you know? And this starts now. It's not waiting till, things really get bad to try to detach from things. You gotta be in that headspace now, you know, so that when things pop off, it's not a hard transition, you know. Of course, yes, things are gonna it's gonna Jacob's trouble is gonna be a very difficult time, you know, but the Lord is preparing each and every one of His elect to be able to go through that fire, you know, and that starts with us now, each and every day. Yahushua, John 18:36, Yahushua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world." Yeah. So these groups out here trying to set up themselves, these false prophets, they put themselves up on a high pedestal, because they love it here. They love the glory. They want to be the man. You know, they want their glory before Yahushua has even gotten his. You know, Yahushua answered, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight that I should not be delivered to the Jews? But now is my kingdom not from hence." The timing of his kingdom is fastly approaching. Fastly, you know? When it's here, when it arrives, it's gonna be wonderful, you know? It's gonna be wonderful to be able to reign with Yahweh Shai, you know? Be at peace, you know? Esau, yes, the earth, it's beautiful, you know? You know, it seems like, to the naked eye, it seems like this is it, but no, you know, what's getting ready to come is gonna eclipse all this. Everything's gonna be perfect. Everything's gonna be perfect the way it's supposed to be, from breathing in the air to walking on the ground, you know, to drinking water, to raising your seeds. Everything is gonna be perfect. But now's not that time. But it's coming. You know, like I said, though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely will come. It's gonna come, and we believe. We truly believe. So yeah, this is gonna do it for this video. I hope, Lord willing, this recorded well, because I've been trying to record this from last night, and my phone has been giving me, headache of a problem. So Lord willing, this video records, the sound is good, and it's edifying to the elect. I'd like to close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, and double honors to the apostles and others of great millstone who rule well, and peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim, other pushing truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, this was edifying, and until the next one, Shalom.